Burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live. It's going down, baby. Burning through ashes, trying to make common sense.
Burn live, y'all. Burn live, y'all. We burn through conversation, trying to ask y'all some common sense. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Capiche. This is Wednesday, Travels Day. We were supposed to be going over the O.J. Simpson trial, but we postponed that to next week. We haven't forgot about you. We still will be doing it. We're just gonna switch it back to next week. We had some program issues and things happen. I still just want to go live to keep my daily routine going with you guys. Letting you know that Burn Live is here Monday through Friday. Yeah, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. Also, I'll go live on TikTok. I still need to be uploading a lot of stuff. I think that's what I'm going to work on. That's what I'm going to really work on. Also, seen this, got this program, and we'll be making like little ads, commercials, and stuff to post and keep posting. I think it's going to be fun. I got a lot of things for me to do to help market myself. Shout out to Smoke Nation Worldwide. I seen a couple of ideas that you was putting together. I think it was cool. I think it was fun. So basically, it's this app out there. I think a lot of y'all may know about it, may not know about it. But it's an app out there. I think it's a very cool app. And it actually makes ads and stuff like that, AI generated and stuff like that. But I think it's cool for us young content creators who's not too tech savvy to get into that and to construct things to help promote my channel and stuff like that. So what I'm seeing, I think it's gonna be fun. I made 2 videos last night. I like one of them. I'm working on it. So what I really think it is, make one of these things Monday through Friday, through the week, and then every other day just advertise. Basically, I'm just be shooting 3 videos, well, 5 videos every other day, except for the day other video that we're doing, and hold it back. So this kind of means that I have a lot of videos to make, which is true. Can't wait to get into them. I really can't, because now that I'm seeing like this is what I want to do, this is how I want to make it. Uh, I wish I could show y'all a couple of the videos, but I want to hide them. I got people, friends, and stuff who, when they see them, I kind of want to make these a little bit right and make sure I don't mess over. So I really not even take my time, but I see that I'm have to take my time and do this correctly. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Friday. Is it Friday? Yeah, Friday is my politics day. Is where I go deep dive into politics and stuff like that. Everybody knows, like, hey, what's going on with Venezuela is really, really all over my news feed at the moment. Um, Except for this ISIS that happened in Minnesota. I will cover that real fast, real quick, just to start us off in the right direction. Plus, we got live coverage of it. Can't pass up the live coverage. I did see this breaking news last night. I sort of seen it while I was doing Good Night Capiche. I sort of seen it. My bad, y'all. Oh, you got people protesting in the streets.
To be where they want to be for immigration purposes. But as you know, Hallie, from a larger standpoint, some of these other immigration actions have sometimes been coupled with National Guard deployments. We've seen troops in cities like Los Angeles and Portland and Chicago, but they are actually, because of a recent Supreme Court ruling that directly related to Illinois, actually all of those National Guard troops are not going to be in those cities, and the president has pulled them out of there. But this has been a really ongoing conversation and battle between federal agents and resources that the president can deploy, and those that Democrats and certain representatives in these cities and in these states have been very vocal about being opposed to. Hallie.
Monica, thank you very much. I know Julia Ainsley is still with us as well, and you are seeing now some video from on the ground. So this is the moment. This is, I believe this is a live look now at an area, I guess, nearer the scene, near where protesters had been. It's obviously a close shot, a tight shot, as we say, of some flowers poking up through the snow there. Again, we've been showing you some of those wider images. I think we have some video, too, of the moment that we referenced earlier, the snowballs being thrown at some of the law enforcement officials that were making their way to the scene. This is it here. So again, this is from maybe looking at the clock, maybe 20 minutes ago here. And you can see it, some running, these people gathering, the snowballs being chucked at some of these vehicles that are making their way down what we understand to be 32nd Street there in Minneapolis. The shooting itself, the ICE-involved shooting, happened on 34th Street, again, in the Powderhorn neighborhood just south of downtown. And Julia, as we take a look at this, we are waiting to hear, too. And again, I know I've said the governor is expected to speak soon. We think the governor is really expected to speak any minute. We've been expecting that for a couple of minutes now. And Governor Tim Walz, of course, former vice presidential nominee for the Democrats just last year, has suggested that he has real concerns with the way that this happened, with the way that this moment has unfolded here, leading to the death of this woman. Again, the Trump administration saying essentially that it was self-defense. Several top officials calling it an act of domestic terrorism, including Stephen Miller, one of the president's closest advisors. The Minneapolis mayor calling that BS and telling ICE to get out of the city. I want to play. President Trump has also just weighed in on this for the first time. While we play this out, I want to go to Monica Alba to give us more on that. I haven't seen it, Monica. What is the president saying?
The president is saying, Hallie, that he has just watched the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. He says, quote, "It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was in the president's..."
Build a website you love with Wix, where your words create your brand, your opportunity, your breakthrough. Wix.
And over the ICE officer. Again, this is the assessment of the president of the United States, who is saying he believes that this ICE officer, he says, seems to have shot her, quote, in self-defense. Again, the president goes on to say, based on the attached clip, and he does seem to have one of the angles here that he has posted on his social media platform, Truth Social. He says, quote, "It is hard to believe he is alive," again, referring to the ICE officer there. But the president says that the ICE officer is now recovering in the hospital. He says the situation is being studied in its entirety. But he argues, the president, that the reason these incidents are happening is because, quote, The radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. The president goes on to say that he believes that they are just trying to do the job of making America safe, and he says he stands by them and wants.
Have there ever been a time in history where a person is scrutinized for everything he do? Everything they say he's gonna do, he's gonna start a new war, he's gonna lock up black folks, he's very racist, all these things they say he's gonna do. They protest him, they get in his way. We felt a lot of negative things about Joe Biden, but one thing we did not do as civilians is get in the way. Why do y'all consistently get in the way and think that it's okay? I'm just going to get in your way just because I don't like you and take the risk of getting harmed or hurt. That's how we look at this on the other side. It's snowing, icy, and you're in the way of the police officers, ICE is doing their job. Yeah, you don't like it.
All law and
but you cannot save the people that you're trying to save. You as a civilian cannot save them without some type of consequences.
enforcement officers from any kind of violence and hate. So that is the initial reaction and post from the President of the United States, Hallie.
Monica Alba with that. Thank you. And again, to be clear, and you're seeing that post here, the facts are still coming in as we are seeing multiple angles of what has happened over the course of the last couple of hours in Minneapolis. I want to pull that down. I'm going to ask our control room to do two things. It's now 3:30 here in the East, 2:30 in Minneapolis. We're waiting to hear from Governor Tim Walz. I want to play for you these videos that we have now from eyewitnesses who are on the scene. There's a couple of different angles. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play them once. You're going to hear them. You're going to see them. And I want you to watch, and you can assess for yourself what has happened here. You're going to hear the shots being fired. You're going to hear all of the audio in that. We're going to then play it again in slower motion so we can look sort of almost frame by frame as what has happened. So here we go. I want to ask our team to play that now. So that's the first angle of the scene. And obviously we bleeped out some of the expletives for obvious reasons, but you could see and hear some of that. I want to pick that back up. I want to play it in slower motion. I'm going to ask Julia Ainsley, I'm going to ask Jim Kavanaugh to walk through this with us. And I'm going to ask our control room team to just kind of pause and play here as we really break this down. Because remember, this is just one angle. More videos are likely to come in, we think. We are working to clear other angles and other images that we have seen.
I'm glad we're right here. I'm glad we get to see, because we cover on this channel on Thursdays. Go check us out on Thursday. This is why I'm starting making these videos. Go check us out on Thursday. We cover a lot of video cop cams. And now it makes a lot of more sense of why we're doing it. And I appreciate Cookie for bringing it back to my attention, to bringing it out. Shout out to Larry. By law, they say using a vehicle is using a deadly. By law, they say using a force, deadly force, to a police officer is a vehicle. Vehicles is using deadly force. Deadly force is a vehicle. Okay? That's what this person has did. We're finna break it down. This is live coverage. I'm pausing it because I really want to go over this with you too. And notice that this is NBC, baby. I want y'all to see this. man. When they go to the big scene, when they go to it, I'm gonna go make myself smaller so we can break this down. We can go over it live, just like them. I want to hear their analysis of what they think, and we're gonna break it down, man. It's the Burn Live Wednesday traveling, baby. What's going on? Let's go.
From eyewitnesses who were out there when this happened. But from this one video, I want to walk through what has happened because the minute by minute, the second by second is going to be critical to this investigation that the FBI is now involved in as it unfolds. So Jim and Julia, let's watch this together here. I'm going to ask our team to play this. So this interaction happens. And let me just...
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right. I'm going over video. This just happened in Minnesota yesterday. A lady was in the way of ISIS, and she got shot. We finna play the video slowly. We finna break it down, go over it. This is live coverage from NBC of it yesterday. So we're going over it and we're gonna break it down. I appreciate you coming up here with me. This is what I really wanted to do. Bam.
Pause here. Let me have you guys pause because right before this, I just want to set this up. You had seen another car sort of zoom out of the way past this. So there was a sort of a line, at least a couple of cars behind where this was. Now you see this. There's the car. And I want to explain to people, we have blurred out the back. We blurred out the license plate. We don't have the identification of the woman who was killed yet. We don't know if her next of kin, her family members have been identified. We're going to blur that until we know more. So that's why the back of the vehicle is blurred so that you're aware. So here we are, sort of second by second. You see these ICE officers approach. Jim, I'm going to have you talk us through the next couple of seconds here because it appears as though this person is talking to the driver now. And you can, again, slow-mo, so you hear him sort of some yelling there.
Okay, so the first big question is she approaching ICE or is she just going down the street and was trying to buzz a U-turn to get out the way? Or is these people that ICE is actually trying to obtain? Because us as civilians, people that, you know what I'm saying, just spreading this information to on the news, because this is a news coverage. This is something that we should know. This is something that you would think okay, let me be very blunt in how people want to hear this. Let me say it like that. You want to get rid of Trump, right? They want to get rid of Trump. This is ISIS. If this lady is a real, true victim, you would definitely 100% paint the picture of her as a victim. She was being harassed. She was on her way, minding her business. She wasn't a protester. She wasn't none of that. She was just minding her business. For one, that's the one thing that you would definitely want to hear over and over, repeatedly, so people can feel sincere for this person. Yet again, I know I haven't played that long, but those are words that I'm listening for. I'm looking for. Second of all, before they go deeper, they surrounding the vehicle. I'm automatically thinking, without a shadow of a doubt, if they surrounding the vehicle, it's got to be poppable cars. Like, I'm just not going to surround the video and waste I'm just not going to surround it for no reason. So probable cause is telling me that, yes, I have some type of reason for surrounding this vehicle.
There. The window comes down a bit. He's pulling at the door. That is when the shot is fired from the...
You see the shot fired. Now, Thursdays, we do cop cabs at court cases. Cop cabs at court cases. Or Thursday, so tomorrow, we're going to see a lot of people in vehicles. Once they drive towards a police officer, they're going to get shot. We covered a video last year of a pregnant lady in the grocery store that got shot by the police officer because she drove off with her because she was stealing liquor. Everybody remember that. Everybody like, oh, she should have got shot, but nobody will take into consideration that she was actually really stealing. Also, the guy that got shot at the end of last year for trying to pistol whip an off-duty cop because he didn't know he was an off-duty cop. He just thought he was a regular Joe, somebody he could punk, bully, overrun, and he fucked around and found out.
Yelling there. The window comes down a bit. He's pulling at the door. That is when the shot is fired from the officer at the top of the screen. Jim.
That's exactly right, Hallie. And to put the whole situation holistically here, we also have to look at the gray SUV on the right. And this person running, looks like a female running toward the smoke there, the accident, was probably the operator of this vehicle. That's what it appears. And these two vehicles were blocking the street from this pickup truck on your left, which is clearly an ICE vehicle. It has blue and
Ladies and gentlemen, key words that we need to listen to and pay attention to that they're going to ignore. They were blocking this vehicle that we see right here. There's 100% ICE agents. So you were already blocking ICE agents from doing their job. So it really sounds like to me, and you can be mad at me for saying it, it really sounds like to me that you was fucking around already. You already fucking around. You coming up in here, and you're stopping police officers from doing their job. Anybody, please tell me if that's smart. Flat out. Is that smart? Yes? No? Maybe? Maybe? No? You think so? Okay. Nobody. I get it.
red lights flashing in the grill. So that vehicle, the police vehicle, was coming down the road, and these two civilian vehicles blocked the road. That's what it looks like. Then the ICE officers walked up to the burgundy SUV to talk to the driver. The window was down. Then the car, you can see the ICE officer walk up. He tries to talk to the driver. The car backs up, and he reaches in, and the officer in the front then draws his weapon and fires. As he's slipping on the ice, he fires his weapon, we were told 3 times at the news conference. And, of course, a woman was killed. So that's the overall situation. The critical facts are going to be, of course, that the officer who fired his duty weapon believed he was under imminent threat of great bodily harm or death. If he believes that, and he was positioned so that could have been so, then he would have a justifiable use of deadly force. If it's not a reasonable, if, for example, say the gunshots were through the passenger side window or the side of the truck, where he was not in danger, where he was past the truck, then that would not be a justifiable use.
Side window, passenger side, which this is seen clearly shows you, dude shot from the driver's side of the window straight forward into the driver, unfortunately a female. And it happened. Now, we don't condone violence over here. I'm not saying that it was right, but yet again, by law, just by law, my homies.
Use of force. He has to be in an imminent threat of great bodily harm or death. He doesn't have to be standing in front of the hood ornament. I mean, if he's hit by the headlight, he could be killed. So it's that's what's going to have to be analyzed. Hallie, you're so right to look closely at the facts here in each video and break it slow down. There's more videos that investigators will get from the ICE officers. There's 3 there. Maybe there's a camera on their vehicle I could be
That's
four
true, yeah.
more vehicle
And Jim,
videos.
would they be?
And-
Jim? Is it safe to assume that the officers
Yeah,
and the
I
agents
can- I
involved would be
really
in-
need to
Julie,
do a
jump
call.
in on this. I think Julia's got to run. Julia, if you have us, I'd ask you to this too. Julia, is it safe to assume that these officers would be wearing body-worn cameras? Julia?
Yes. So let me walk you through the body-worn camera policy. It was put out as a pilot program under the Biden administration. It did not go very far. And then, in fact, this Trump administration did not allocate more funding for the body-worn camera policy. In fact, the cameras they do have, if they wanted to expand, they could even go all the way to get them to translate. They have the capability, but instead that's not something, even with all the funding from the One Big Beautiful Bill, when ICE became the most well-funded law enforcement agency in the country, they have not put any of that toward new body cameras. And so therefore there is no mandate that ICE officers wear body cameras. Now, of course, some of them do because of that pilot program. So there's always like a 25% chance somebody had a body camera on them. There have been incidents where we've been able to get body camera footage, but oftentimes it's coming from cell phone videos like these, or if any of those houses you see there, Hallie, have a ring cam or any kind of surveillance, that would be a first place investigators would be going. But it's very different, even as local police around the country adapt to these policies. ICE has not.
Julia Ainsley, I know you've got to go make that phone call.
It's crazy how a news company is going to tell you how to spend your money. Hey, I think you should get the cameras that has the updating. We don't even have, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'm not reporting, but these are things that have been reported, is that the fact that ISIS needs more people. They don't even have enough people to really do their job successfully. And that's where they're pumping a lot of money into, is the recruitment of more ICE agents to the company. So they're thinking about creating jobs more than making the job efficient, because yet again, they don't even have enough people to do it. And if I don't have enough people to do it, I'm probably going to more pertain to that, because that's a little bit more serious than the fact that, oh, I don't have the body cam that translates to what these guys are saying. That lady could have been just a YouTuber, a TikToker or something, and you know what I'm saying, she really didn't mean nothing. She was just, trying to go viral and you know what I'm saying, be in the way. In all these situations like this, stop being in the way of ISIS. Like, this has been a ongoing event that y'all want to be in the way of ISIS. Stop doing it. Minnesota. Come, you know what, let me pull this down. Minnesota. Understandable. Y'all are a good good state, and y'all got a lot of things going on when it comes to development and resources and taxes. Yeah. But stay out the way of the federal government and just keep doing what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? If the Somalia community is under investigation, let Somali community be under investigation. Y'all ain't got to worry about it. It's amazing that we was more concerned and worried about Americans and what they was doing. And okay, cool. They're not doing the big corruption that I can focus on like right then and there and put a finger on and catch it. So we're catching, right? We're catching. We're starting to crack down on people who misfund mayor and government spending. I think that's a good thing. We're starting to be to the forefront because of social media and stuff like this, platforms like what I'm giving you. Monday through Friday, I got something different. I'm giving you something different every day. We will switch to late breaking news on certain days, but hey, Monday, Finance Day. Tuesday is AI Developing Day. Wednesday is supposed to be Watch Party Day. Thursday is Court Cam Day. We're Cop Cam Day. Friday is News and Politics. Saturday is Function Day. Saturday Function. And Sunday we are. I'm bringing something new, different to y'all every day. But the big picture is, y'all, I'm working on it now. Putting it together now as we speak. The Monsters versus Boogeyman. I'm promoting this. I'm putting this out there. I'm working real hard with the team to push this movement and what we're doing, what we're focusing on, explaining to people that a boogeyman, person, place, or thing that you point at that does not exist, a boogeyman. A monster, a person, place, or thing that you point at that does exist. Okay? Also, we probably want to put up there when it comes to boogeyman is allegations. Okay? Allegations is probably going to be another definitional word that falls on the boogeyman. Because when you throw allegations out there, and we had a good conversation last night on Good Night Capiche, y'all got to go check. See, it's already working itself out. Sounding real good. And yeah, how it's going to go? I think I'm almost ready for Spotify and Apple. You know what I'm saying? Throw myself on over there. I'm almost ready, y'all. For real, for real. You know, got the dates put out, how we going. We looking good over there. You know what I mean? So please stay tuned. We got a lot of things covering. We got a lot of things going on. Got special guests coming. Definitely got some special guests coming. Go check out Money Demon and his show over there. Go check out Johnny After His Heart over there. Go check out the Vibes Community Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yeah, 6 to 9 Eastern, 3 to 6 Pacific. Go check them out over there every morning. Goes down. Brooklyn, Cookie, they're going down. So I was gonna say, what's going on? Who needs me? It ain't for me, y'all. So, in other news, I'm really used to that now. In other news, y'all, we're not gonna cover that too long. I'm really gonna say that for Thursday to go in deep, where it's gonna be more broken down, more exposed. We really been talking to people all over the world. There's been a lot of people coming to me from different parts of the world. We actually really thinking about traveling all over the spots. Next year, I will definitely be preparing myself for a out the country Burn Live exclusive. This year we're gonna be inside the country due to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just real best that we do this. Okay, y'all. I do gotta go back to the Minnesota because the governor is talking. It's only right that we cover this live because we're live. The governor is talking. We're late to the party.
Look, and I understand the uniqueness of this. In this case, now to watch how our professionals operate to the Minnesota National.
No, it was in response to this event.
Okay, I'm just trying to get it.
the outrage that we have. Look, this
On equipment that is ready all.
the desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration, please do so.
Okay. So let's play it from
An
the
ICE
beginning.
officer shot and killed someone in Minneapolis. My deepest condolences to the family, to the loved ones who had to learn about this tragic event on national television. We've been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized operations are a threat to our public safety, that someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said exactly that. What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. I've reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and I'm waiting to hear back. Let me be clear. Donald Trump and his administration may not care much about Minnesota. That's been pretty evident. But we love this state. We won't let them tear us apart. We'll not turn against each other. To Minnesotans, I say this. I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do. We can't give them what they want. The hearts and minds of the people in this state are on our side.
That's true. And I'm glad he said that. But in this situation right here, did this person protest peacefully? Can we honestly say that? Justifiable. This person, this lady, was she protesting peacefully? Or was she invading and blocking ICE agents from doing their job? Whether you like it or not, and I think that's the part he needs to put into words and tell his people. Either if you like it or not, I get it. Do not be in the way of the ICE agents. That is causing chaos, confusions, and people are getting hurt. Stop fucking around and finding out, because we're just going to be crying and boo-hooing, and we're going to look like the victims. And this administration doesn't care about victims.
To Americans, I ask you this. Please stand with Minneapolis. To Minnesotans, know that our administration is going to stop at nothing to seek accountability and justice. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are working on the investigation. We have activated the State Emergency Operations Center. State Patrol and Minnesota National Guard leadership is connected with the Minneapolis Police Department, the St. Paul Police Department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, the DNR, and Minnesota's Homeland Security and Emergency Management. We have activated dozens of members of the State Patrol's mobile response team. And from here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community, they're business owners, they're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait. We will continue to update you, Minnesota, as we get more information. Now I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Bob Jacobson.
So, let me get this right. Let me make sure I heard this correctly. You just threatened Trump administration. Hold on. Oh yeah, let me give me I need my close up real quick. I want y'all to smell me on this. Come here. Tim, Governor of Minnesota, just threatened the Trump administration with National Guard saying that they're going to block ISIS for coming into Minnesota to do their job? Are you really going to? So, this is the civil war that people are talking about. Oh, it's going to be a war. They're going to fight each other. Small steps like this. This is the small steps that, yes, are going to trickle down to a small war happening. This is it. This is the baby steps. So for people that talk about this and you were right, if stuff like this keep happening. Yet again, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this clearly on my channel. For the 4 years that Biden was in office, we sat back and we chilled. As conservatives, we didn't riot except for January 6th. Okay, you got that one. You got that one. January 6th, you got that. You guys on the other side, on the left, I'm covering this intensively just like anybody else is covering this intensively. Or want to press the button of being agents of chaos and want to press the buttons to show a whole nother administration, which nobody showed Biden nothing. We watched, we pointed, and we kept receipts. You would think that's all you would need to do. Is just keep the receipts of this administration and what they're doing. And 2028, when it's election time, when you have your candidate, and you put him up there, and he's running against the Republican Party, you will have the receipts to show the world, to convince us who to vote for. But to sit up here and think that you can go toe-to-toe, National Guard to ISIS, ISIS to the Army, Army to a police officer, to everyday citizens, and put lives on the line. It's crazy. It really is. Yeah, let's see what this Army guy got to say. I'm actually gonna go small screen, boom, not big coverage.
Of the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Thank you, Governor. As the Governor mentioned, my name is Bob Jacobson. It is my honor to serve as the Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. First of all, I want to acknowledge the reason that we are all here. The loss of life is not anything anyone would ever want. We fully expect that the community will want to peacefully demonstrate their anger or frustration. Minnesota residents and visitors have the right to peacefully demonstrate. We recognize that demonstrations are often driven by strong emotions, beliefs, and certainly a desire to be heard. Our role is to help ensure everyone can express themselves without anyone getting hurt. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety's role through the Minnesota State Patrol is to ensure safety, protect constitutional rights, keep roads accessible, and above all, to prevent harm. Our top priority is public safety. Our focus is keeping demonstrators, community members, drivers, and law enforcement safe. especially during moments of heightened tension or uncertainty. Demonstrations must remain safe and lawful, particularly around roadways. We will join with our partners to support safety while respecting the right to protest. With that in mind, I'd like to share a few safe and lawful ways to demonstrate. Minnesotans can safely and legally express their views in many ways, including getting together peacefully with others in public spaces, marching or walking, not on roadways, making your voice heard through chants, speeches, and displaying signs, being present in public areas where pedestrians are allowed, gathering in designated or permitted areas, and these actions will allow people to express themselves while protecting the safety of everyone involved. Unsafe or illegal actions could result in fines or arrests. Certain behaviors create serious hazards that threaten public safety, disrupt emergency services, or put people at risk. These actions could result in fines or arrest. Demonstrating on or entering a freeway on foot, walking on highways, throwing objects, starting or setting fires, damaging property or graffiti, using illegal fireworks, displaying or using illegal weapons, reckless or dangerous driving, especially near pedestrians, and certainly assaultive, aggressive, or riotous behavior toward anyone. We all want definitive answers to what happened today. Our Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is working in conjunction with the FBI to investigate this morning's shooting. As you know, we don't comment on active investigations, but also keep in mind that this is an investigation that is also in its infancy. So any speculation about what had happened would be just that. And we will not engage in speculation. With that, I will turn it back over to the governor. Thank you.
We'd be glad to take any questions. Yeah, and I can let General Schaefer talk about this. It so happens it's a training weekend. We've got about 7,500 troops in training at our sites, training sites across the state. What it is, and in the National Guard, you give a warning order, which is a heads up of something could be coming. That just allows people to think about what they would need, what it would mean to mobilize, what it would mean to put them in. And I could let the general talk a little bit about this. Obviously, since the summer of 2020, we had a lot of work done on teams being ready to make sure that civil unrest. And what that means, and I think Commissioner Jacobson was very clear, and I want Minnesotans to hear this from me, the desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration of how wrong this is, that is a patriotic duty at this point in time, but it needs to be done safely. And I think the commissioner simply just laid out some of those parameters. We can do that. This is the peaceful resistance that we need. Simon, you want to say a few things about what that means to have them on the ready?
Do they look people? Dude gave you a bunch of things that you can do to be peaceful. And definitely hanging out around ICE agent buildings is definitely not one of them. Just want to put that out there, okay? Hanging out, chilling around this is not one of them. So let's stop doing that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Governor. So for the military, Minnesota National Guard is comprised of 13,000 soldiers and airmen. We live all across and work throughout Minnesota. A warning order is just an initial step to increase your preparations. The Minnesota Guard is always prepared to respond and support state agencies and the citizens of Minnesota. So what that means for us today is just some additional checks on equipment that is ready at all times, and maybe some additional phone calls to service members who might be activated, but no activations. We are embedded with our state agencies here at the Operations Center to just continue parallel planning in the event that we are needed to support.
And I would make note, Mary, and to Minnesotans on this about the National Guard, they're there to protect you and protect your constitutional rights.
It sounds like they really can't do too much. Sounds to me like they really can't do too much. Sounds like to me they was only there to check equipment. Hey, you all right? You know. So this threat that's threat is not really a threat. I mean, hang it up. Stop. Let it go. Okay.
Rights. These are our neighbors. They don't wear masks. They don't bust in from somewhere else. They're not here to cause hassles to you or what we saw today, the tragedy. Having them at the ready to make sure, because when we see these types of things happen, and we saw it after the murder of George Floyd, there's folks that want to cause chaos. There's the disruptors in it. And while the vast majority of those protests were peaceful expressions of their First Amendment rights, there were those that destroyed property and put people at risk. The National Guard is there to make sure that peaceful protests are able to be done, and that those that want to do the destruction are stopped from doing that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I think apparently by a federal agent, not by Minnesotans who were there to express their First Amendment rights. I think we've seen this to have folks ready. The gatherings that were down there today, I think this shocked everyone. People showed up as they should. There's people putting flowers down on a memorial. There's people expressing their anger. It's just as these situations develop, we decide when.
There's nothing wrong of going to a memorial, going to a place that's not in the way. And I'm gonna keep stressing this. That's not in the way of ICE agents doing their job. That's the biggest problem that we've seen that they do, is they be in the way of ICE agents. Okay, this is a prime example. Right now you see them at a spot where they lost their life. I get it, everybody mourning. You know what I'm saying? Sad it happened. I get it. Be out there, there's nothing wrong with that. But if ICE agents is right up the street, that don't mean go over there and be in the way. That's what we talking about when we talking about stuff like that. Don't be in the way. That's what we. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. Just want to go live to cover this. This was exclusive. Sorry, Minnesota, you had to go through this. But again, tragic things happen. We gotta get things together. We gotta get things right. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. I just want to cover that story. We'll be covering more on Fridays. Tomorrow is Cop Cam Day. Get ready, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm your host, Capiche. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and every time you